Well, we have no idea what we're going to do now. Or very little idea. But it might include Sayadaw speaking a little bit about leaving here and taking practice. There will be, John will be taking photos of what's going on here. And at the end, before we break up to leave, we're going to try a group photo with people coming down here and sitting, and you see the tripod back there. We'll try that. If you have any easy questions, maybe we'll take some. And we'll see how it goes. So, Sayadaw, would you like to say something?
Yeah. I have no idea.
You have your mic on, Mo? No, okay.
Yeah. ဒီတရားစခန်းဖြစ်မြောက်အောင်အစအရာရာကူညီပေးတဲ့လူတွေယောဂီတွေရောဆို staff တွေရောဆရာတွေရောအားလုံးပေါ့နော်ကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်လို့
Sayadaw says he would like to thank all those who have made this retreat possible, including the yogis, the staff, the teachers, everyone.
ထောက် support လုပ်တဲ့လူတွေအားလုံးပေါ့နော်
Yeah, everyone who supported.
Also translator. I'm very tired about listening because English is not understand fully. I'm not fully understanding what they're saying. So because she's helping, so I can understand deeply, so I can advise deeply. Yeah. So I think about that. And we don't. Now, yes, can't be. I in the yes can't move. No, the ma out of the near, but what am out of Satan? Pay the knee.
He says, although the retreat is over, he says meditation, the Dharma is not over. He says the whole purpose of his teaching meditation is so that is to enable us to practice in our daily lives.
ဘာကြောင့်လဲဆိုတော့ယောဂီတော်တော်များများဘဝတည်းအထုတ်လို့မရဘူးလို့ထင်နေတယ်သူတုံးလို့အထုတ်လဲအထုတ်ကြည့်တယ်ရလည်းမရကြဘူးအဲ့တော့ကိုကဒီတရားအထုတ်တာကိုဘဝထဲမှာရအောင်ထည့်ပြီးတော့အထုတ်ကြည့်တယ်ရလဲရတယ်အဲ့ဒါကိုပြောလဲပြောချင်တယ်အားလဲပေးချင်တယ်
He says he knows many of us try to practice in daily life and have either found it hard or not possible, and he also did that. Tried very hard to practice in life and found a way, and so that's why he really wants to encourage everyone and to help them with every means he has possible to try and explain how it's possible.
ဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်တရားဘဝတည်းအထုတ်လို့ရတယ်
You can practice in your life.
ဝိပဿနာဉာဏ်ကြီးအများကြီးဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်တကယ်ဟိုစွန့်ကြံကြည်နေအထုတ်နိုင်မယ်ဆိုရင်
Many insights can be awakened once we become skillful at practicing.
နောက်ဆုံးပြောရင်အလိုက်တစ်ပိုင်းလည်းရနိုင်တယ်
And he believes that you can become enlightened as well.
နောက်ပြီးတော့ဘဝထဲမှာအမြဲနောက်ပြီးဘဝထဲမှာအမြဲအားထုတ်နေမှာ
But you must be
တရား
practicing.
အမြဲတမ်းရင်းနှီးနေမှာတရားရေရှည်ကြရင်တော့တရားတိုးတက်တကယ်တရားတိုးတက်ခြင်းနဲ့ဆိုရင်အမြဲရင်းနှီးနေမှာဖြစ်မှာ
He says, but we must be practicing all the time. He says, if we really want to advance in our practice, he says, then we have to be very close to the Dharma all the time.
ဟိုဘယ်တပ်ပညာရှင်ပဲဖြစ်ဖြစ်ဒီသူလုပ်နေတဲ့အလုပ်တစ်ခုကိုကြာမလုပ်တော့ဘဲနဲ့ပြန်မလုပ်တော့ကြာသွားလို့ရှိရင်သူက confidence ရော့သွားမကြွချင်မှုနည်းသွားတယ်ဥပမာဆရာဝန်တယောက်ကစိတ်မကူတာကြာရင်သူစိတ်မကူရတော့
He says, even in a professional field, like, if you're a scientist or a doctor or a lawyer or something, if you've been out of touch with the profession for a long time, you haven't been practicing, he says, when you want to start again, you lack the skill, the confidence, so it's the same way.
တရားဓမ္မလည်းဒီလိုပဲသူအမြဲရင်းနှီးနေမှတရားတကယ်တိုးတက်မဲ့အကြောင်းအမြဲရင်းနှီးနေမှ
He says, so that's So that's why we have to keep the Dharma close to us. We have to be familiar with it, almost like a best friend. He says then it brings real
အမြဲတမ်း
progress.
အလုပ်တစ်ခုအမြဲတမ်းလုပ်နေတဲ့လူတစ်ယောက်ကဒီအလုပ်နဲ့သူကကျွမ်းတယ်ကျွမ်းကျင်တယ်နောက်ဟိုတိုးတက်အောင်လည်းသူကကြံဖတ်နိုင်တယ်စဉ်းစားနိုင်တယ်သူကချက်နိုင်တယ်ပေါ့နော်
He says when you do something and you're very skillful at it, you not only are excellent at doing it, you also find new ways of doing it and doing it better. You expand your horizons in the very thing that you're skilled at.
ဟို16နှစ်ရှိပြီဒီယောဂီတွေကိုသူတို့ inspiration ပေးနေ happen ကူညီနေတာတနေ့နဲ့တနေ့မတူကြာလာလေသူကအကောင်းဆုံးအတက်တာဆုံးအထီရောက်ဆုံးနည်းတွေတွေ့လာအမြဲပြောင်းနေ
He's been teaching for 16 years, and the longer he's taught, year after year, his teaching has changed slightly, and more he finds ways to communicate what he's trying to express to the yogis more effectively, more clearly, so that it's more useful for the yogis.
ဆိုတော့အလုပ်တစ်ခုကအမြဲတမ်းရင်းနှီးနေမှာသူကကျွမ်းကျင်တယ်လို့လည်းခေါ်တာ
So that's why he says you have to be very close to what you're doing in order to become really skillful.
နောက်ပြီး
at
တော့
it.
ဘဝဆိုတာသူတို့ရှင်တန်နေမှတည်နေပြီဆိုပုံတည်ကြီးနဲ့တွားနေတယ်ဆိုတာသူကဘဝကတည်နေတယ်လို့ပဲ ဘဝဆိုတာအမြဲတမ်းပြောင်းနေရရှင်တန်နေရတယ်ခုနကပြောသူပိုကောင်းတဲ့ထက်ကောင်းနေရတယ်သူပိုကောင်းတဲ့ထက်ကောင်းနေရတယ်ဒါမှသူကရှင်တန်တယ်ခေါ်တယ်
He says we have to live, but to be alive, he says we have to feel like we're growing constantly throughout our lives.
မဟုတ်ရင်သူကမပြောင်းလဲဘူးဆိုရင်သူတည်နေတယ်လို့ပဲ
If we don't change, he says it's like being dead.
ဒီအလုပ်တစ်ခုသူဂျာကြီးလုပ်နေတယ်အမြဲတမ်းလည်းလုပ်နေတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ဒီပုံစံပဲတော့ဒါတိတ်မဟုတ်တော့
If you're doing the same work over and over again for years, he says, and you're still doing it the same way, you haven't found ways to do it better, he says something seems to be
ပြောချင်တာညံမတက်လာဘူးလို့ပြောချင်တာ
So he's just saying that that's a sense of like wisdom not growing.
ကဘာကြီးအမြဲတမ်းပြောင်းနေဘာကြောင့်လဲဆိုတော့အမြဲတမ်းသူကရင်းနှီးလူတိုးတက်နေတဲ့သဘောရှိတယ်
Our world now is always changing. Why? He says it's always improving, it seems, in leaps and bounds because there's some kinds of wisdom at work.
တရားမှလည်းဒီစိတ်ရဲ့ quality အမြဲတမ်းတက်လာမယ်
In the Dharma also, he says the quality of the mind must be getting better and better.
ဟောညာနေအပြည့်လာပြီဆိုရင်အရင်တော့မမြင်ဘူးတာတွေသူမြင်လာတယ်မမြင်နိုင်တဲ့ဟာတွေသူမြင်လာရမယ်ဒါမှသူကညာကတက်နေတဲ့ခေါ်တယ်
So once the awareness is established and strong, he says, and it's always there, he says, then you start to realize things you never realized before, see things in ways that you never imagined that you would be able to see them before. And that is progress in the Dharma.
ကိုညာကိုပြန်ကြည့်တဲ့အခါကျတခါတော့မြင်ရတာကိုတိတော့ပဲသိတယ်မသိသေးတာမသိသေးဘူးအများကြီးချန်နေတယ်
He once was investigating an insight that was arising at that moment, and he realized he only understood what he understood in that moment. There was a lot more that he still did not understand. That was still not understood.
တခုအရင်တော့စပြီးတော့အတိညာဉ်တရားတူစတက်လာတဲ့အချိန်မှာတော့ဘာစဉ်းစားတခုတက်လာငါတော့ဟုတ်နေပြီလို့ထင်တာတပြင်းကြာသွားတဲ့ခါကျတော့အတိညာဉ်ဖြည်းဖြည်းရင်းကျက်လာတဲ့ခါကျတော့တခုတည်နိုင်တိဖို့ကြံတယ်99ခုလောက်ကြံတယ်
He says in the initial years when he used to have insights, he would think every time he had an insight, wow, that's a big improvement, that's great. But over time, as he had more and more insights, he began to realize that for every insight he developed, there were maybe 99 more things that he still needed to know.
ဒါညာရင်းကျက်လာတဲ့သဘောပေါ့သူက
And that's also a kind of maturing of wisdom, understanding that.
ဆိုတော့ပြောချင်တာဒီယောဂီတွေကအမြဲတမ်းနဲ့အထုတ်နေတဲ့ယောဂီတရားကိုစိတ်ဝင်စားတဲ့ယောဂီတွေတုံးပါဘဝတည်းရောက်အောင်ထည့်ပါတစ်ချိန်မှာပဲအချိန်တစ်ချိန်ထိပါပဲကြိုးစားလိုက်ပါ
He
တစ်ချိန်ညရင်တရားဆွဲခေါ်ပါလိမ့်မယ်
He says, so he knows you all are really interested in the Dharma and you really make the effort to practice at home. So he wants you to persevere, don't give up. He says, it's only until a certain point, he says, at which point the Dharma will start carrying you along on its wave.
ဒီဖျားလည်းဟောတာရှိပါတရားကိုစောင့်ရှောက်ရင်တရားပြန်စောင့်ရှောက်တယ်ဆိုတာ
There's a saying in Burma, if you look after the Dharma will look after you.
အဲ့တော့ဒီဓမ္မဆိုတာဘာလဲဆိုတော့ကိုကတတိတမာနိဉာဏ်တွေကိုအားပြည့်အောင်လုပ်တယ်ဒီအားပြည့်လာတဲ့တတိတမာနိဉာဏ်ကပဲကိုယ်ကိုအကောင်းတွေဖြစ်စေတာပဲ
And what is the Dharma? He says is really this: the sati, samadhi, and panya, the awareness, the stability of mind, and the wisdom. He says if we grow these qualities of mind, he says they'll grow strong enough that they then are able to protect you, look after you, bring good results.
အဲ့တော့ကိုယ်တရားတက်လာမတက်လာသိချင်ကိုကအိမ်ရလူမေးပါ
So if you want to know whether your practice is improving or not, he says ask your family or those at home with you.
သူတို့အတိဆုံးပါ
They know best.
ကိုယ်ဘေးနားမှာရှိအမြဲတမ်းရှိနေတဲ့လူအတိဆုံးပါ
Those who are always beside you, they can gauge for you. They know.
ဟိုရိတ်တာဆရာကြီးတောင်းမမေးနဲ့မသိဘူး
Don't ask the meditation teachers. He says they don't know you.
ဆက်အထောက်ပါကိုကသိနိုင်ပါတယ်ဒီစိတ်က
He says just please practice. He says you can know your mind, this mind.
လူရဲ့စိတ်ကတကယ်တမ်းပြောမယ်ဆိုရင်မိတိမိတော့အရနေကျင်တာဒါမောဟိုက်တပါပါမောဟအကြီးတော့ဒီလိုပဲမိတိမိတော့နေကျင်တယ်
He says the mind is such that it wants to live in a forgetful state. It wants to not be mindful, to forget itself and just carry on.
တရားစကံပြီးတာနဲ့တော့မေးပလိုက်ချင်
He says, as soon as the retreat is over, the mind wants to take a break, forget.
ဘာပြောဩတတ်နေတော့အခုအိမ်မှာခုနပြောတယ်နေဩအဲ့တော့တတိရှိတယ်ဆိုတော့လွတ်ချင်တာဘာကြောင့်ဘာဖြစ်လို့အဲ့လိုဖြစ်တယ်လဲဆိုရင် तू ကတတိထားတာကို तू ကဟိုတတိထားတဲ့တန်ဖိုးကိုနားမလဲတာရဲ့နောက်နားမလဲလို့နောက်ပြီးအားဆက်ရတယ်ထင်လို့မိတိမိတော့နေလိုက်လွတ်လပ်နေလိုက် तू ပေါ့သွားတယ်လို့ထင်လို့
And the reason that the mind wants to live in that forgetful state, he says, is one, that it doesn't truly understand the value of mindfulness. The second thing is, he says, initially it feels like work. It feels more effortful to be aware. So for the mind, it feels more freeing, the deluded mind, it seems more freeing to not be aware. Then it's free to do whatever it wants, and it seems to feel lighter.
ခုနကပြောလို့ပေါ်လာပြီအဲ့တော့ဟောပြီးပြီဆိုတဲ့ idea ပြီးပြီဆိုတဲ့ idea အဲ့ကောင်ကတော့မောဟတိတ်ချိုက်တယ်တရားတို့လို့ပြီးပြီဆိုရင်တိတ်ချိုက်တယ်မော
He says, and the mind also likes this, the deluded mind also likes the idea that something is over, finished, complete.
Retreat is over. Meditation time is over. It like very much. Totally the carry of me blind.
And then the mind just completely lets it go, forgets it.
I know, but what am I would need time? Macha go the deeply piano can I am amalu, double to tail line, I go take her. I will take her what long in a teacher loaded. I will take a BB so in what look up. That the boa idea.
He says, our habit in doing anything, he says, is to put a lot of immediately, like, apply ourselves to the task. Yes, in anything we do, we apply ourselves to it, and then we put ourselves fully in the work. When we're done, we're like done. He says, so don't do that to mindfulness. He says, we get this feeling that we have to do it and then do it properly. He says, and then this happens. So just a light reminding yourself every now and again, daily. He says, you all understand this, right? That everything arises to pass away. That's why you have to practice continuously, because the mind arises and then passes away. It is not permanent. He says, so if you want to have it as a permanent fixture of your mind, it has to be like is a permanent process, so you have to keep renewing it and renewing it. So it's always there as a renewing process again and again and again.
ဘဝနဲ့အားထုတ်တဲ့ခါကျရင်တို့ကဟိုဒီဘက်ကိုလည်းအားထည့်လွှမ်းကြည့်လည်းမရဘူးဟိုဘက်ကိုအားထည့်လွှမ်းကြည့်လည်းမရဘူးအဲ့တော့တဘာဝကြကြလေးနေပါမကြအချိန်မှာပြန်ပြီးတော့ခုနကတတိပေးတာလေးအတားလေးပြန်သိပေးပါအဲ့ရလေးပဲနည်းနည်းကြွားကျင်သွားကြာသွားရင်တော့လွယ်လာလိမ့်မယ်
He says, so at home, he says, it will be difficult if we put too much attention on the awareness and too much attention into what we need to do. So he says it's just this very light reminding, consistently reminding
အားအ
ourselves,
များကြီးမလို့
not with a lot of effort, but just a consistent reminder every now and again to remember yourself. Remember yourself. That's
ပြော
it.
ပါလူတွေနဲ့ပြောကြရှိပြောနေတုံးမှာပြောနေတုံးမှာချက်ပြန်ပြီးတော့သူပြန်မေးပါကိုအောင်
Talk to people. He says you need to talk to people. And every now and again, just slightly remembering yourself.
နေပါကြိုက်တယ်လို့နေပါ
Live as you would wish. Do it. And every now and again, remembering yourself.
အဲ့ဒါလေးမကြအလေးချင်းလေးလောက်သွားကြာရင်လွယ်လာလိမ့်မယ်
And if you make that lightly reminding yourself a habit, he says, then that will become
ပ
easy.
ထမအဆင့်ကတတိကအောင်ရင်လောက်ရမှာဆွဲမြဲလာအောင်ရင်လောက်ရမှာ
So that's the first step to build that habit, to make it stick, to make that stick.
ကိုအတိများလာပြီဆိုရင်ညာကတော့ပြောလိမ့်မယ်ဘာလောက်ရမလဲဆိုတော့ဖြည်းဖြည်းမြင်လာလိမ့်မယ်
When we've been aware of ourselves consistently over a long period of time, the awareness will start speaking to you. It'll say, okay, now this needs to be done or that needs to be different for the wisdom.
ကိုလည်းကိုစိတ်ကိုကြည်တတ်နေပဲကိုစိတ်ကိုကြည်ရဘယ်လောက်မှခက်တာမဟုတ်ဘူးအားလည်းစိုက်စရာမလိုမေးယုံမမေးရတာအမြင်နဲ့ကိုစိတ်ကိုကြောက်မေးနေကြည့်
You all know your minds. He says it's not difficult to recognize the mind is there. He says, so all you need to do is ask the question, what is happening?
တရားအများကြီး deep တိတ်နဲ့နေမလို့ဆွဲမြဲမှုပဲလို့တယ်
So the Dharma doesn't need to be very deep. It just needs to be long-lasting.
ညာကသူ့လို့သူလောက်သွားတယ်ညာပေါ်လာရင်တဏှာသူ့လို့ကိုလို့မဟုတ်တော့
So when wisdom arises, it will do its own work. He says the rest of it is not our business.
အခုတော့မှအခုကိစ္စရပဲရအောင်ဘာအောင်ပြုလဲ
Right now, what is your mind doing? What's it paying attention to?
အထဲကိုထည့်ထားလားအပြင်ရောက်နေလား
Are you inside yourself or outside? Trick question. No, joking.
60-40 okay enough that's enough so it's a lot 60-40 is a lot yeah အဲ့ဒါတော့ပါပဲငါပြောချင်တာ
That's all he wants to say.
yeah နောက်လေလာဖို့အစီအစဉ်ရှိပါသေးတယ်နော်လာအောင်မယ်2014မှာမတေချာသေးဘူးလာဖို့အစီအစဉ်ရှိတယ်လို့နော်
Sayadaw is making plans to visit IMS again. There's tentative plans to come back in 2014. Nothing is ever definite, but plans are being made.
ဆိုပါအားရပါတယ်ဒီကရောဒီကောက်လောက်ရတာအားရပါတယ်
He says he feels very good about this retreat. He's very happy with all of you.
yeah no.
So thank you, Sayadaw, for these encouraging words. The Buddha said, as long as the Sangha gathers together frequently and practices together in harmony and discusses Sangha matters and resolves Sangha questions harmoniously, and we separate and go our own ways in harmony, then the Sangha will last for a long time and the Dharma will be available. So we've gathered in harmony and we've practiced in harmony, we've discussed the Dharma extensively, and we've received some encouragement. Is there any outstanding issues that need to be resolved amongst any of us? On behalf of all of us, let me just say that if we have said anything or done anything that offended you, or some part of you felt a little uncomfortable with something we've said or done, then it was not intended to cause any distress or concern or harm. So please forgive us for what we did like that. Or if we failed to do something, if we didn't respond to your note, if we didn't look you in the eye or whatever. If we didn't do something that, or didn't say something that you felt we could have or should have, that wasn't done with that was not done with any intention to harm either. So again, please forgive us for that oversight. And for all those thoughts that you've had about us that were maybe less than 100% pure, we didn't notice. And we certainly would forgive you and for anything like that. Just as a final, is there any questions for Carol? She can answer one. Or me, I can answer two. If not, we'll, may all of the efforts that all of us have made over these year and a half in preparation for the retreat, and for all of your efforts here over the past 14 days in developing the Dhamma in your heart, and practicing the renunciation of the precepts, and developing the 5 faculties. May all of the punya, all the goodness and the merit of all of the work that we've done together join in that great stream of merit that will be waiting for us in the future, so that it'll also support us and all beings. So may all beings everywhere benefit from the work that we've done this past couple of weeks, and may all beings have the opportunity to live in harmony with one another, and to live with awareness as much as can be developed, and may all beings be liberated. I gave it to him this morning. So,
Wait. I want to tell something to remind them.
okay.
He says you can look at anything you want to look at. Just be aware that you're seeing before you start looking. And you can listen to anything you want to listen to, but recognize hearing before you begin listening. And live as you wish, but know before you begin living.
Okay.
Or continue living.
Sayadaw, stay for a minute. John, turn off the recording.
Thank you for listening. To learn how you can support the teachers and Dharma Seed, please visit dharmaseed.org/donate.